Tuesday night. We're hanging out here right now. Tuesday night, BS Wrestling Report, hanging out, getting ready to talk some professional wrestling. With me, as always, in the great state of Florida, down there nice and warm, we've got Steve. Steve, what's going on tonight? How you doing?
Not too much. We are not alone tonight. I am real excited for this. I was a huge mark. On the phone with us now, the man formerly known as Drew McIntyre, now known as Giant Drew. Yes, I heard you with Cole. Drew Galloway. Drew, how are you doing tonight in the FLA?
Fantastic. Lucky that I actually made it home just in time to talk to y'all. I was very close to running out of gas, so this might have been happening on the side of the highway. I was coming over the St. Petersburg Bridge. I don't know if you know it, but yeah, I literally noticed that I was right about to run out of gas. I'm very lucky I made it home, or to a gas station, then made it home.
Do you live in St. Pete now, or are you on the Tampa side?
So I do live in St. Pete. If I live in Tampa, too much temptation here. I'm in the bar every single night. I've got a bridge separating me from the bars.
Well, I mean, downtown St. Pete's got a lot of cool shit. Actually, Friday night, when I ran into you, you had a hell of a match. I remember when I walked up to you, and I look at my girlfriend Vanessa, and I go, "God damn, this is a big motherfucker." And I said, hey, Drew, how do you think your match is going to go down? This is for Drew was defending his Evolve title. We'll talk about that in a minute. And all you said is, we're going to beat the fucking shit out of each other. My man, you did not disappoint. How the hell is your finger?
Oh, my finger looks just glorious right now.
Is it broken?
Sorry. It's fine. I'm a pro wrestler. I'll just walk it off. But, yeah, we did beat the shit out of each other like I promised you. Hey, Roddy Strong is a hell of a talent. Like, he's one of the best in the absolute world that I've faced. And every time we get in there with each other, we have very similar understandings. No matter what anybody thinks about wrestling, they think it's fake. As soon as they watch myself and Roderick Strong get together, we'll make them question everything they think they know.
I remember I caught you out back, and I saw your finger. It was bleeding, and it was, twice its size, swollen, and purple. And you're just standing there like, psh, another day at the office. It just blew me away how you guys. You were on the bar, you were on the stage, you were outside. I think you took the park bench outside to the face, which was pretty fucking amazing. And the ref, unfortunately called it a no contest. So I can't wait for you to defend that Evolve title once again down there in Ybor, because you guys tore the fucking place down.
Thank you. It was a very fun match. The following night, I had Ricochet, so it was the exact opposite. Pretty much. So myself and Roddy were murdering each other. That guy Ricochet, again, one of the best in the world, could do some unbelievable things. As well as all his flying moves, he was also kicking the crap out of my fingers, so it ended up being 5 times the size after the match. But, yeah, so good to have 2 fun days and 2 unique opponents, opposite styles, but both phenomenal.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've been a mark. Ashamed to say, I've been a mark since I saw, the boss, Vince himself, bring you out as the chosen one. And, when, like I said, you just didn't disappoint. With that said, I sent you, a message earlier today. We had a few Twitter questions. This is uncharacteristic, but I'm going to start off with one real quick since we're talking about Evolve. And this is from @InternetOpinion. And he wants to know, Drew, what does it mean to you to be a world champion and an ambassador to both Evolve and Scottish wrestling?
Oh, it's fantastic. I've sort of only had the Evolve title, the ICW title, and currently the Danish title. Like, I'm not one of these guys who has 50 titles. Every title I have, I want to mean something. The Evolve title, as far as I'm concerned, Evolve has the best in-ring professional wrestlers on the planet. You've been to the show, you've seen all the different styles. Everybody just brings such a unique style of professional wrestling to the show, and it's just the most complete in-ring product in the world. And ICW in Scotland is just an absolute juggernaut right now. It's the biggest thing in Europe. BBC put out a documentary on the ICW. It exploded. It took over Glasgow. Now it's taken over the UK, and it's going to take over Europe. The second documentary is about to come out on the 21st this month that I'm featured in on the BBC. Is going to be a huge deal, and that's just going to take ICW to the next level, get it on TV. It's reminiscent of the old ECW, the kind of fans there. It's just such a good atmosphere. The guys are so passionate, unique gimmicks. It's kind of different to Evolve in the sense that Evolve's in-ring professional wrestling. ICW is just like ECW. Just think ECW, but it's got the chance to be even bigger than ECW was. And I've also got the Danish title. There's only one title in Denmark, so I'm referring to
Jesus.
myself as the SOS, Savior of Scandinavia. I just pretty much went over there, told them they didn't have anything going on, and I'll be their champion for them. Because I've only got one title in the whole of Denmark. So that's 3 titles I currently
Jesus.
hold, and I'm not going to be one of these guys with random titles. Every title, it's got to mean something if I'm going to hold it.
Dude, that is massive to me. Now, you said it's on BBC. Will it be BBC America or just UK?
At first, it's going to be UK, but like the first documentary, like they filmed it. I guess originally it was supposed to, mock wrestling, and then they got to know the guys and saw how interesting their lives were, and they started following a few of them, and then they decided, to broadcast it to the whole of the UK, just see what happens, because it was so interesting to them. It was so different, and it ended up just blowing the numbers out of the water. And they decided to film a second one because the first one was so successful. I guess they wanted a few 100,000. It ended up with millions.
Whoa.
And then they filmed the second one. It was actually started filming the night I made my return in Scotland. The first thing I did since being gone from WWE. And they started filming that night, caught my return, followed the same guys from the first one, and I was the additional character. And I've just saw it recently, and it is very, very good. And it's going to be on US Netflix, I guarantee, within a very short period of time, just like the first one was.
First one was great. I watched it on. I saw YouTube clips of it and kind of put it together in several parts of it before I think Netflix had a hold of it. But yeah, that ICW stuff over there in Europe was man, it's intense stuff. It's a very interesting documentary the way they put the whole thing together.
Yeah, it was incredible. It's just been going from strength to strength. Like I was the first champion there. God, even how many years ago now? Like 9 years ago, probably. And just to watch it to go from a small, tiny place in Glasgow with literally 60 people there, just selling out all the major nightclubs in Glasgow and traveling to London, Newcastle, Liverpool was phenomenal, just selling out pretty much everywhere. So the fans are just as big a part of the show over there as the wrestlers themselves, if not bigger. They're unbelievable. Some of the chants they come up with. I don't know if you know the Beatles too well, but when I was in Liverpool, this is just an example. In Liverpool, I was having a match in the main event, and the guy I was wrestling, I had him halfway through a move, and I paused because I heard the crowd singing. And all I heard was, na, na, na. And I was, oh, cool, Liverpool, a Beatles song. And na, 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 na. Instead of Hey Jude, the entire crowd, about 1,000 people, just all together screamed, Hey Drew. I looked around at them all. Like halfway through the main event, we're in the final few sequences, final few near falls, and they literally bust this out. And I was like, God, do these guys rehearse this? And this is all down in the UK, not just in Scotland. The fans are just unbelievable over there.
Yeah, the fans are like you said, they are they're not the show, but they're this this whole other thing that brings a new element to the show itself. And, it's crazy. It's crazy the way that's all come together just naturally and organically from nothing really.
But yeah, it's just giving people a different option. Like it's an over 18 show. It's different.
Yeah.
And people are really enjoying it. Like they're wanting an alternative. The people that grew up, like I'll use Cena for example, watching him are now of an age like we were when we were kids, and we grew up watching Hogan, and ECW was there. It gave us an alternative. These people are of the age that want an alternative. Yeah. And right now ICW is giving them an alternative, and it's working out in a very big way.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what was it that drew you in as a young youth to professional wrestling? What was it about this sport, however you want to explain it? What was it that brought you in to professional wrestling, and what was that thing?
I really don't know. I've been watching it as long as I can remember. I've just always been amazed and just awestruck by it. And I always say that's what I'm going to do my entire life. As far as I can remember, I didn't remember a time where I didn't say I was going to do it. I mean, at one point I was also going to play professional football, professional soccer. When I was really young, that was the two things I was going to do no matter what. And as I got older, I started focusing on wrestling. I'm going to be a wrestler. Everybody was like, oh yeah, Drew's going to be a wrestler. Drew the wrestler, that American thing, whatever. And as I got older, I've told this story a few times. I sent away for the inside secrets of pro wrestling by Percy Pringle and Dennis Brent. And I got volume 1 and 2, and it told me to keep kayfabe, so I kept them in a briefcase on top of my wardrobe so nobody could see them. And I played along with the guys at school with the storylines and stuff, even though I knew how it worked, brother, when I was 10. So I was just a weird kid. I was so obsessive, and then finally when I started doing it, and I did my first show when I was about 16. I was just 15, I think, my first show. All the guys at school went, oh wait, Drew's actually doing this. I never get to WWE, and then when it finally happened, I was 21. Everybody, I remember all the messages like, wow. I remember just finding you up, and you were just always like, I'm just going to do it. You were so casual the way you said it. I just always had such tunnel vision. I wasn't going to do anything else but wrestle and get to the highest level.
Now, what was it like? As you know, you said you were 21 when you're debuting in the WWE. What was that like? You know, coming into the juggernaut, the show, the WWE, that machine. What was it? What was the feel like that first night? Those first nights that you were, you know, that you were there backstage, getting ready to do the thing.
I don't even know how to put it into words. Like, I was on TV so quickly. Like, I came to America. I'd actually just turned 22 when I debuted, but I just got to America. Wade Barrett was arriving 3 weeks after me, and I was already debuted on SmackDown by that point. Like, I just thought that was the protocol. I just thought you come in to figure out something to stick you on TV. I was like, that was kind of quick, but okay, that's just the way it is. And I found out later, some of the guys have been in developmental for 10 years. And they're just like, what the hell? So I just thought it was normal. You just go in and figure out something, get on TV a few weeks later. But yeah, I was just, trying to figure out what on earth a hard camera was my biggest thing, because I was used to working the European style and working all four sides and to the back row and the wrestling mentality rather than the sports entertainment, working the cameras, because there's more people watching at home than they're actually watching in the arena, and you've got to learn how to please both of them. I just wasn't ready for that yet. So thankfully I got time in developmental to figure out all the intricacies of being on WWE television.
It's crazy. Yeah, I couldn't imagine it'd just be very overwhelming as a fan, as the whole thing coming in. You know, as a fan growing up, watching it, and you're there, and you're part of the show, and you're part of everything. That would just be, it'd probably make me crap my pants. But
yeah, you don't really get time to let it digest, to be honest. Like, it's such a whirlwind. You get a couple of days off a week. You just don't have a second to realize how big it is. I think it was only when I was gone from WWE, which was only like 7 months ago. I feel like it was so long ago, because so much happened, and I've done so much in the past few months. But it was literally only about 7 months ago that I sat down and just thought about everything. I was like, wow, there's a lot of cool stuff. I've just not processed it, because I've not actually had a week off in about 7 years.
I remember when that Black Thursday came out, and all over the dirt sheets, like, your name was on there, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? This, dude, you got the look, you got great hair, you really do. You can talk, you can move, you're very personable, and for you to be on that list, and plus, I absolutely loved what you guys did in 3MB. Cracked me the fuck up. But before we get to 3MB and that stuff, what was your biggest moment in WWE? Like, your absolute favorite moment? Was the debut, the Money in the Bank, the winning the IC title, which is a very, very prestigious title? What was your moment in WWE that you will cherish the most?
Well, there's a lot of cool ones, like you say. My first Mania, IC champion, Money in the Bank, winning the IC title, being endorsed by Vince as the chosen one. Wrestling Taker, but coming out second, which not many people did. He usually came out second. That was a big deal for me.
Yep.
But the most important one to me would be probably wrestling in Sold Out Scotland, and I got a chance on the microphone, and I singled out my parents and cut a promo on them. Pretty much talking about the night they got together and made me, and had everybody clap for the special night they got together and made me. So yeah, that was like, since my mother's not with me anymore, that was probably the most important memory for me, because I had chances to do things like that and bring them to America and do all these things. It was thanks to being in WWE I was able to do all these things. So that's the things that mean the most. The other stuff's really cool, but that's the things that mean the most.
The way you bring that up, coming to America, a friend of ours, a follower of ours on Twitter, at AM Johnson, Miss Amanda Johnston, she wants to know that she sees you're heading to Australia real soon. She's a huge fan of yours. She wants to know what international plans do you have for the Evolve and the ICW championships?
Well, my plans are to do exactly what I've been doing the past few months, and that's defending them anywhere I can. The Evolve title's been defended all across the world since I've had it, and ICW title I've defended in Scotland, England, and now Denmark. It was a title versus title match, and I plan to defend the ICW title over here as well now, and just build the name of the title. Like I said it in the promo that night, and for Ebor, that was all on the fly as well. Like, pretty much 90% of my promos, I have no idea what I'm going to say. I just go out and talk and say what I'm feeling, but I think the line I used was the JFK one.
Yep.
Don't ask what the title can do for you. Ask yourself what you can do for the title.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to have a title and make that, define me. Like, I'm trying to build the name off the title, and the title becomes associated with me. And you think of Drew, you think of the title, and try and make it a bigger deal than any of them have ever been before. And that's my goal right now, is to make these titles really mean something, become some of the most prestigious titles in the entire world.
You're wild, dude. With if just going off your match Friday, which it was broadcasted on the on internet pay-per-view with WWN. A good friend of mine, Trevin Adams, does that. And if any inclination, like with what you've done in WWE, if any of you out there, Drew comes to your town. And I'll say this, Drew. Throughout your time with WWE, I've, in Detroit, when I've ran into you a couple of times, I met you, shook your hand. You've always been the nicest, most respectable man that, in professional wrestling that I've came across. Hey, let's take a picture. Sure, I'll shake your hand. Sure, I'll sign an autograph. You've always been so cool. So, folks out there, if you get a chance to go see this man work and perform for you, it's well worth your money, well worth your time. I guarantee you will enjoy seeing Drew work, because I think you'll agree, you lay it all on the line. Like, you remember that bump you took at Money in the Bank where you crossed the ropes nut first?
How could I forget? First off, thank you very much for the kind words. Like, I really do appreciate that, and pride myself on, just being myself. I'm not acting in any way. I do get tired and stuff, but also I remember, first and foremost, I was a fan as well at one point. I got to remember what it was like. I'm just being myself, so thank you for that. Those kind words, and I do give it 150% every match. So if a finger goes or hamstring goes or whatever, I'll find a way to work around it, or I'll incorporate it in my match. There's always a way to work through injuries. But yeah, that particular crotch spot did feel like crap at Mania. Like, I was trying to think of a big bump I could take at Mania, and I was looking at the ladder, and I was like, I could do a couple of things that maybe haven't been done. I might end up hurting myself. I bet I could take a really cool crotch bump. It looks pretty easy. Sean and Razor did it, and especially Razor is such a big dude. He's way bigger than myself, and he glided so gracefully, and he landed in the top rope. It didn't look that hard. So I just said to Matt Hardy, I was like, just push the ladder. I'll figure it out. I'll just step off when the time's right. So sure enough, he pushed the ladder. I stepped off it, expecting to glide gracefully, and I just felt like I'd stepped out the side of a building, plummeted violently, balls first in the top rope, and the worst feeling in the entire world. I'm just so glad it was the last thing I had to do in the match. I think I invented about 93 new swear words when I landed in the top rope.
Oh, I remember watching that bump, and I saw it. I was like, oh my God, that man is never gonna have kids. Now this is very, very uncharacteristic, but back to our Twitter follower Amanda Johnson. She wants to know if you'll say hi, Amanda.
Hello, Amanda. How are you?
Oh, he added a how are you there. I love it. Like I said, this guy, he'll sit down, he'll talk to you. I don't know if you drink beer, but next time you have a match in Ybor, we got to sit down and have a beer.
Don't have to drink beer? What country am I from?
Touche. Well, I'm just.
Didn't you watch me as well in the match do a shot of Knob Creep and then spit it in Roddy's face as well?
I did see that in we had another great Twitter question. This is from Scarfy Dwayne, and I don't know if you can answer this one, Drew. Do you have any interest in working for other promotions like PWG, Lucha Underground, TNA, or ROH? And like I said, that's kind of touchy, so I don't know if you can answer, but if you can, please feel free.
Well, regarding PWG, of course. Absolutely. Like, I love places that have the, kind of following, like the PWG and Evolve, etc. Like, all the guys I work with work in places like that, the top independent talent. Regarding the places where you have to sign a contract, like, that's not something I can answer right now. But I can say that I'm very, very happy and very lucky right now. And I'm happy that I'm not working under contract. I'm working on my own terms, and I have many, many goals, like short-term goals, that I'm working on achieving right now, and I can only really do while not under contract. And thankfully, people give me opportunities and believing in me, and I'm able to work every single week and earn a very, very good living, but also get to do what I love while not having a contract. So right now, I'm very content and really have some big goals that I'm trying to achieve in the short term.
Awesome. I love that. I love that DIY punk rock, do-it-yourself attitude, and get out there and do it, and put in the hard work.
Yeah.
That's how I like
It's just the feeling of, being able to do it yourself and having such hands-on creative input and watching it succeed. It feels really good just to, let out all that creativity that I've not been able to do for a while. And wrestling's all I know and all I've ever known. I was lucky to, be born the way I look and the size I am. But all the other stuff I had to learn and work on, and it's just so good to express myself in that way again.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Now, I always like to get into, I want to ask a few questions about early days. And what was it like those first days that you got into the training and took those first bumps and started getting in the ring and hitting the ropes and all that? How'd your body react? How did you feel? What was it all that going through your head?
It was horrible. I was so determined and so cocky that I was just going to stroll in, 15. But I traveled 12 hours. There was nothing in Scotland. I had to travel 12 hours to go to training in England. And I was 15. It took forever to convince my parents. But yeah, I assumed I was just going to go in and magically be the best wrestler in the world. I know everything there is to know about wrestling. I've been ready for this moment for about 10 years as far as I'm concerned. And I took that first bump and was like, oh my God, this is the worst feeling in the world. I hit my head. I rattled every muscle in my bone in my body. And then I took a corner, and if you've been in the ring before, the corner ropes are the tightest part of the ropes, and you hit your ribs off them if you don't hit the corner directly straight on, and you run the ropes and tear up all your back, and you get a headache at the end of the day from taking all the bumps. I mean, you don't get the move right the first time. I knew I wanted to shoot myself every time I didn't get a move right the first time. I just thought, oh my God, maybe I won't be able to do this, and started kind of freaking out at first, but I was very determined and kept my confidence, let's say, not cockiness, and just kept pushing through it until finally I got it right.
Yeah, those I've seen some of the training. I've never actually been lucky enough to get into a ring. Maybe one day I'll be able to figure out a way to get in there and maybe take a class and just learn to run the ropes, take the bumps. And I'll never be a professional wrestler, I understand that, but I think it'd be an amazing experience to get in the ring and understand.
Gotta give it a try. So I always tell everybody, anyone asks about wrestling, especially in a negative manner, if they say anything, I just tell them, just go to one lesson. I'm not going to try and stand here and convince you that it's one of the hardest things in the world. Brock Lesnar couldn't do it anymore, so he said, God, I can't take this pro wrestling anymore. No matter what you offer me, I'm just going to go be UFC champion. So
yeah.
It's just there was grueling schedule sometimes, and then you're constantly trying to get in the gym, go in, do the match, then drive to the next town, which could be 6 hours. You're on the road the majority of the week. There's no off season. You just go and go. Your off season is when you finally get injured. So you can't explain it to somebody if they don't want to listen. I just tell them, just go, take a lesson, take a few bumps, and come back and tell me how you feel.
Yeah, that'd be the best thing. I'm all in. I give you guys all the credit in the world. I just like to get in there, kind of experience a little more of it myself. Speaking of being on the road and things like that, how did you find the time and the energy and the everything to organize and stay in shape and keep in the gym and stay with your fitness regimen? It becomes such a pattern for people that live at home 9 to 5. You go to work at 9, you get off at 5, you go to the gym, da-da-da-da-da. You guys are on the road, you're in different towns, different cities, traveling, different gyms. Routines just got to be a hard thing to maintain. I mean, what was some of the things that you found yourself doing to maintain that, for your physical fitness?
You just figure it out as you go along. It becomes second nature. Once you get your itinerary for the week, sometimes you would leave on Friday and be on the road till Wednesday morning, you'd fly back home. Sometimes you'd leave on Saturday morning, you'd be on the road till Wednesday morning. Sometimes you'd only be at TV on Monday, Tuesday. So once you knew during the week what your itinerary was, you could kind of get an idea what you wanted to do. When you train legs, your legs hurt for a while, and obviously it affects you in matches. So maybe you want to train legs while you're home. And then you just look at the schedule. Generally, we fly into the town. First thing we do is maybe eat, get everybody you're traveling with, get some food, go to the gym, get it done, get a couple of meals to go, and then you're just straight to the first show. And drive to the next town, depending how far it is, drive halfway, hit the gym, get the same deal, get a couple of meals to go. And that's pretty much it. You figure it out as you go along.
Yeah, that just seems like a new regimen, you know what I'm saying? Just keeping that routine and keeping that things organized.
It becomes second nature, really does. You don't even think twice, and then you try to explain it to somebody. My dad came on the road one time for a week. I looped starting from Saturday right through to Wednesday, and just at the end of it, I wasn't even thinking. It was 4 or 5 hour drives every night. He just said to me and Seamus, was how do you guys do this? I don't understand. We were but this is just what we do every week. It's normal to us. like he was absolutely wiped out from being on the road. He was like, oh, thank God, I can't wait to go back to Scotland. He was on holiday. He's like, oh, I can't wait to go back to Scotland so I can go back to work. It's a lot easier than being on the road with you guys traveling.
So let me ask you this, Drew. You brought up, Sheamus and Barrett. Who did you travel with down the road?
It depends. Like who was on the particular loop and shows, and it varied over time. Like obviously those were a couple of guys travel with, Daryl, Heath, Jinder. Just it changed so much. It just depended who was on that particular loop, and sometimes there's only be a couple of us. Sometimes there'd be a group of us traveling together. It's always fun when there's a group of you traveling together. The chat keeps it interesting, and there's plenty of interesting characters in wrestling.
Oh,
keep the entertainment flowing.
Oh yeah. So we know when 3MB started, we know you had a pretty fucked up wrist. Like you wrestled on it for like 2 or 3 months, with that jacked up wrist.
Yeah.
How long did it, because to me that faction or gimmick, needed to take some time to, no pun intended, evolve. But and I don't know if you can answer this, but what did you think of the 3MB gimmick? Because I loved it. You guys entertained me. I laughed my ass off. I think Slater was a good mouthpiece. And I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass here. I'm just gonna shoot you straight. I wish they would have gave you the mic more so you could showcase your personality and put you in the ring more. But what was your honest opinion of 3MB, baby?
Obviously, initially it was a bit of a shock, but I also wasn't doing much at the time. I did have the wrist problem. I didn't realize that I needed surgery till about the following week when it was after 3MB started. But yeah, they just told me the idea, and I like rock music. It was interesting. It was Vince's idea, so I knew he was behind it. So yeah, nothing I could really say initially, except I was like, okay, well, I'm going to give this everything I've got. I spoke to the guys. I said, hey, let's just give it all we've got. The worst situations are when guys don't give it everything they've got. They give the poo-poo face, whatever you want to call it. And then it just doesn't work because the fans can see right through it. We genuinely were having fun, having a good time, having a laugh together. We hung around in real life, and the fans could see that. So because we were having a laugh, no matter how ridiculous the situation, the fans were having a laugh with us. So no matter what situation we got put in, we were just like, hey, let's just give it everything. And towards the end especially, there was getting a good response, and I was 100% again. Myself and Jinder and Heath had got ourselves in pretty good nick, and we were like, man, if we'd just done a few, of the original style videos we did, behind the music videos, maybe something shocking, like imagine 3MB won the tag titles. There was definitely petrol left in the tank. But also for myself, if I was ever going to do something serious and relevant again, I did have to go away for a while, and I've been very lucky the way things have turned out since I've been gone. When it comes to reinventing myself on the underground, if I was ever going to do anything with them again one day.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's awesome. I thought it was entertaining. And it's got to be awesome when Vince has got the kind of gives you the thumbs up behind it, and you can kind of roll with it. That makes you feel good. You got some, the backing of the man behind you, so you got to have confidence in the idea. So
yeah, awesome. I think also the problem as well is once it gets started and he gets told, oh, by the way, Drew needs surgery, and he's getting it right now, so he can't be touched or touch anyone for 6 months. And if I'm supposed to be the heater or beating anybody up, that probably pretty much killed every idea he had. So that was unfortunate timing, and then they brought the Shield in the following month.
Yeah, for sure. But you're out there doing the damn thing right now and putting in hard work on the independent scene and all these other and all these promotions across the world, not just in the States. You're all over the place, man. So congratulations to you for keeping the dream alive and keeping working and having the time of your life. It sounds like everything's going awesome for you right now. So I commend you for just keeping it up and keeping moving, because I can't wait to see more from you. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Positive and showing people that it can be done. Just got to put your head to it and get to work. That's it, right? Just get to work.
Man, that's all it is. As soon as I got the call, I sat down and went, boom, I'm not going to be one of these guys. I'm not going to fly under the radar, hoping one day to get a chance to come back, brother. So screw that. I'm a professional wrestler. I know I can get it done in the ring. I know I've got a head for this. I'm just going to sit and just think, what am I going to do? I'm going to do this, this, this. Hopefully it'll catch on. We'll see what happens. And thanks to people giving me the opportunity and believing in me, It did come off, and the fans' response has been phenomenal. Like, I appreciate, people like yourselves and my peers, etc., who reacted so negatively when I was let go initially. So I think I was the only one who said, all right, cool, this is good. Like, I need an opportunity to just go away for a while and do my own thing, and I've been very fortunate the way things have turned out, and the trainers and stuff, and yeah, I'm just getting started. So we've got a lot of big things in the pipeline, and things are going to get really interesting. Just watch this space.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's get out some quick Twitter plugs and Facebook and all that stuff. Where can our fans hook up with you at, find you on social media? You on Twitter, you on Facebook, Instagram, any of that fun stuff?
I'm on Facebook. I don't know what the address to it is, but it's the fan page. I think it'll hopefully be obvious which one it is if you Facebook it. I'm not very savvy with Facebook. I literally just have it for the Facebook fan page. But it should be fairly obvious which one it is, I guess, with the higher likes. And Twitter. But I don't know, there's a couple of Facebook ones, like fake Facebook ones, who have a pretty good following. I actually created a Facebook. One particular guy was pretending to be me, and I tried to add him as a friend, and the fake me rejected the real me, so I was pretty devastated. Drew McIntyre was too cool to add Drew Galloway. But the main one's Twitter. That's at THE Drew McIntyre. All one word. That's where you can keep up with literally everything. I keep that more updated than anything else with all my musings in wrestling going on.
Awesome. So before we part ways, Drew, a couple things. So where are you? Next month or so, do you got any dates lined up where you're working that people can come out and support you? Have a shot of Knob Creek. Hopefully, you don't spit it at them. You guys actually do it. Where can the fans, meet, interact with you?
I will be in Phoenix. I wish I had the exact details to hand. On the 23rd, it's an incredible show. It's IWF. I believe is the name, and it has like the who's who of independent wrestling right now. They're having a tournament for their title, and it is like ridiculous the talent on it. Like there's a couple of names like Seidel, Uha Nation,
wow,
and the Young Bucks are there as well. Those pretty much the who's who of independent wrestling. Just have a look at it. You'll see I'll be there in Phoenix on the 23rd, and I'll be in Scotland on the 25th. So it'll be fun jumping from Tampa to the West Coast, back to Tampa to jump in a flight to Scotland for literally arriving the day of the show. That's sold out already. That one, I believe, it's a big one back in Scotland for the title. And then in February, where am I going to be? Good question. Check my Twitter.
Perfect answer. Well, Drew, I want to say, we've been trying to put this together for a couple of months now, and I want to say thank you for the time. The next time I'm in St. Pete, I'll shoot you a message. Maybe we can sit down, grab a beer and a bite. And I want you to know, I really appreciate you and you donating your time tonight. I know you're not home as much, but I want to thank you very, very much for being just the man you are, and humble and true and a good guy. I really appreciate you, Drew.
Amen.
Thank you. I really do appreciate all the kind words, and thank you for having me on. I'm glad we got it sorted, and then hopefully have me back on in a few months once I do some more interesting stuff, and hopefully I won't be running out of gas and very ill-prepared when I run in the door. I would have had all the dates handy usually, but I literally was running in the door as you all called. So get on the Twitter, keep up with me, and give me a shout if you're down this way, and I'll show you how to play the game of drinking.
Well, it's a challenge accepted, my friend. We'll talk to you soon, Drew.
Yeah, man.
All right, take care of y'all. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Yeah.
All right. That was us sitting down, chatting with formerly known as Drew McIntyre from the WWE. Now he's out there on the independent scene, doing the damn thing, putting it in from coast to coast, covering the globe, like literally, right? Like, this guy's out there just murdering it. So can't be mad at that, He was about the only one that sounded relieved that he got let go from the WWE, which is crazy thought, right?
I think it's crazy. But dude, that man should be on my TV on Mondays. Like, no joke. I mean, he's got it all.
Man, you know what? I don't even know if Mondays is a spot to be anymore. Like, people are out there doing so much more stuff, and it's just, if these guys in the independent scene can get the games tight and put things together, I think it could be so much better. Just things that can be produced and put out on the internet. Like, I don't know why they're just not doing. How much is a video camera?
There's one right here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got an iPhone. The iPhone 6 shoots 1080. Like, what the hell are these people doing? Like, get your iPhone, put it on a mount, straight up one shot, record it, and put it on YouTube. Why is this not happening more often with these guys?
That's it.
To me.
That's it. Damn, I should have done that. Dude, I'm telling you, his match on Friday, it was Vanessa went with me, my chick, and it was her first time going to a wrestling match, and at the end, she was just like, whoa.
Yeah. Like, it's just insane to me that they're putting on these shows and, you know, in you know, the independent scene, some of them draw real good, some of them draw but, you know, these things should be able to seen by people, man. I just don't get these promoters that are like, I understand that you're charging at the door. It all comes down to dollars, right? You're charging at the door. People pay their 10, 15, 20 bucks, whatever it is to get in. But, and then you're going to give it away for free, but you're going to give it away for free like a week later.
Yeah.
So whatever. And then it's just going to make people come to the next one. The people have to see it online. You come to the next one, come to the next one. These people are going to be blowing up independent shows huge. I don't know.
Yeah, don't set your bar, you know, checking out a show being WWE. I mean, don't get me wrong. Going to see WWE live, it's amazing. It's phenomenal. There's the people, the atmosphere, the chemistry, the, dare I say, electricity in the air. It's unreal. But, dude, you go to some of these independent shows, like that match I went to Friday night, 150 people there at most.
Yeah.
And everybody literally were on their feet the whole fucking time.
Yeah, but, you know, and the thing with the independent shows, too, is these guys put on main event matches every match, in my eyes. At least the better of the independent scenes, like that you know, Drew and these guys are working on.
Shit, a couple people.
They're putting on main event matches because this is their main event.
Absolutely.
Those two guys' main event.
Like a couple of guys we had on, you know, Jeff Boom and his partner Mitch Mitchell of Generation Genesis took on Michael Tarver and his partner. I didn't get his name. I'm just gonna say Brian Rampa. And dude, they went on at 7:30 at night, tore the fucking house down. Oh, and then that's weird. So I was talking to Tarver during the show, and I was like, "So what'd you use as a finish tonight?" He's like, "The Superman punch." And I just gave him this look like, "Really?
Yeah.
Really?" He's like, "Don't worry, it's not watered down like the big guys up north. You know, you should, you know, it's. I don't deliver it every 5 seconds and go ooh, stamp my fist. You know." He was respectful about it. You know, exactly. He doesn't cock it, load it. Like I said, this isn't verbatim. This is just my perception. But he was just, you know, people like Tarver just sitting around hanging out. Him and I, at one point, we were sitting there dissecting matches, just sitting there hanging out. Just you will have a great time at an indie show. They're amazing.
I just don't get why these guys aren't putting them over more. The promoters themselves, why they're not just putting it out on YouTube for free. Put out a 15-minute episode. You put them out in 15-minute segments.
Well, what's JCW do? Like $5 to watch a 3-hour show online?
Yeah, you can do Yeah, you can get the $5 pay-per-views. I just don't, man. It's insane to me. Like, to push your product. Like, don't worry about the door so much, man. That money, it'll bring more in the door the next time. The next time.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
I'm buying a wrestling ring.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, somebody give me $3,000.
Give Brian $3,000 and ship it to Tampa because it's warm all year here.
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe page for buy a wrestling ring.
You really want it? Why not?
Yeah, why not? Exactly. So cool. Well, you know, that was a good one. You know, we moved along pretty quick. The conversation moved smoothly, but I'd like to get him on and just keep talking and just talk wrestling. That format, but we'll let him travel the globe here, right? He's got to go over to Glasgow or over to Scotland.
Glasgow, yeah, Denmark.
Exactly, but Glasgow, Denmark, Scotland, England, Australia.
Yeah, Phoenix, he's all over. So our next guest, we had one half of Chair Shot Reality on, Justin LaBar. That night we had LaBar on. We got a message from the other half, Josh Eisenberg. So he's going to be either tomorrow or next week Wednesday. Don't remember. I'll find out.
So there you go.
Other than that, I'm
Cool.
starving.
Well, no, yeah, check us out. BSW Report on Twitter, BSW Report, or BS Wrestling Report on Facebook, BS Wrestling Report on Instagram and whatever and all that fun stuff. And check us out at youtube.com/BS Wrestling Report, where we come to you weekly with your finest wrestling news and interviews. Make sure you share this with your friends and family. And once again, thank you for checking out the BS Wrestling Report. Steve, what you got for us?
Bye.
Is that what you got for us? Just a big piece?
You know what? Love, peace, and chicken grease. Don't get Ebola.
There you go. Deuces, we out.